Welcome to my next step on the path of a hobbyist. For this project, I decided to upscale from my last two projects to get some more experience. Figuring out what this project was going to be was a bit of a challenge until I found this guy in my hobbyist store and remembered one of my favorite battles from Critical Role. Taking inspiration from that, I decided to create my version of when the gnolls encountered the Manticore. To create the walls of the cave, I found some styrofoam that was the exact length I needed and cut the pieces off camera. After attaching them together with a hot glue gun, I carved the cave with a hot wire, which was a bit harder than I expected. On the sides there were a few extra cuts I didn't notice until I was painting. After making some deeper carves into the cave walls with a different attachment, I cut a strip of balsa wood to act as a support beam. I decided to wait until after I painted the minis to paint the cave to make it easier to create a contrast between the two. However, I only recorded painting one of them, which the link to that video is in the description, because as it turns out, my camera does not have a manual focus feature, and recording on my phone was extremely annoying. So, have a quick edit instead. After a quick texture, now comes painting the cave. I started with a dark gray-blue color as the base to contrast the bright and warmer colors that I painted the minis. Then adding brighter colors of gray on top to create a stone color to go along with the texture. It's better than my last attempt, but it still doesn't have the solid stone look. Most likely I needed to add more of the gray coat, which I'll keep in mind for the next video. Also, ignore me forgetting to paint the balsa wood at this stage. I thought it was a good idea to paint at 4 AM and forgot. It gets fixed off camera. At this point, I made a mistake. My original idea was to cut the bases off the minis and have them stand on their own. I initially tried to remove the base with an X-Acto blade and left behind one of the gnolls' feet. Switching over to cutting the base off around the feet made it cleaner, but it still wasn't a good idea. The actual space the feet take up is small, so I had to use more hot glue than I was planning to make them stay up. For the Manticore, I decided to simply remove the front third of the base, so it had the surface area for a stronghold without the base messing with the look of the cave floor. From here, I positioned the Manticore inside the cave, attached the two halves, and positioned the gnolls for their encounter. This project is finished with a black exterior. Overall, I think this piece came together quite well. I did learn that styrofoam is not a good material for these kinds of projects. It has a lot of divots throughout the material that makes it hard to paint, and it does not take heat well. Each time I placed the hot glue onto the styrofoam, I could see it melting, and I think it may have warped a bit when the glue cooled. I also have a couple of rounds of practice for stone textures in my future. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe if you want to watch my future steps and leave a comment with your thoughts and advice for future projects.